Vera Singleton, and I am going to talk to you today about the top 4 sleep killers, the things that really impact you, why you haven't been able to get a good night's sleep, even though you may have tried everything. You see, getting a deep, restful sleep is something that we really crave, and it's beneficial to us for so many reasons. The single most important reason why it's urgent to fix your sleep right now is because we're in the middle of a pandemic. It's been so stressful for all of us in many different ways. Even seeing the news, even now, when we're getting ready to go into another lockdown, potentially, the rates are increasing. There's a lot of stress on our shoulders. So now is the time to work on your sleep. It is the number one support that you have for your body and your immune system. And here we see that sleep quality and respiratory infection rates are closely related. Sleep has a restoring function of the immune system, and people who are likely to form colds are not sleeping well. So do you want to walk around with yourself being more susceptible by not sleeping? Here is what we're going to do. We're going to dig into the possibility that you can cure yourself from insomnia, but not just not sleeping through the night. It's the quality of the sleep that matters to you. And we don't want to be addicted to these medications for the rest of our life, because who wants to be addicted to medications? There's tons of side effects. I'm going to get into that a little bit later. The challenges are around us everywhere. You can't fall asleep. You can't stay asleep. You're waking up too early. The birds are too loud chirping. Some of us get up at 3 a.m. It's like you have an internal clock that wakes you up at 3:04 every morning. Some of us wake up feeling unrested. You have no energy in the daytime. You find yourself napping, maybe lying on the floor in between your virtual work meetings. Maybe you're just dependent. You have this belief about yourself that you're not able to sleep on your own. That's totally not true. And especially if you've been leaning into the natural supplements like marijuana and melatonin. What if that stops working? What will you do? It's kind of like you're running out of time. You got to figure something out. You cannot go another day without sleeping. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to go over these top 4 sleep killers. Even though you may have tried everything, I guarantee you haven't. So I'm going to talk you through what these top 4 killers are and how you can reverse it. You're going to find out what you can do, a map, if you will, a roadmap to reverse insomnia. I'm going to teach you some sleep training techniques from my sleep recovery protocol training that's going to get you better quality sleep tonight. And I'm going to teach you some things that you can do to get off of medication safely, even if you've depended on them forever. I'm also going to take you through a case study that I did of one of my clients that had burnout and anxiety and insomnia, and we used 100% natural treatments. We were able to get her off of all medication, get her feeling better. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. And I'm also going to take you through the steps to make a huge difference in your sleep quality, what you can do to get rid of your insomnia for good. So why is it time to pay attention now? Because you have an expert sitting right in front of you. I've been working on restoring deep hormonal issues for people for years, since the beginning of my practice. I'm an award-winning doctor. I've got 5-star ratings all over Google and Yelp and Facebook. I've been featured on the radio. I'm on a board of directors. I am doing some big things for the community, and I'm doing big things for you. And I always bring fire for you every time I have a health program. So this will be no different. And this is even more because of what's happening around us. These are a couple of reviews that I got from patients. It's been really incredible to work with people over the years. I included some testimonials from back in 2014 because even then I was still bringing it for people. So you're getting the best of the best to teach you how to get good quality sleep naturally. So let's dig into the top 4 sleep killers. Reasons why you just can't get a good night's sleep. Here we go. Deep sleep killer number 1. You don't have a game plan or strategy to get yourself back on track. Think about that. If you have a game plan, it's so easy for you to follow point A to point B on how to get yourself back to sleep. But many of us, and myself included, I'm guilty, had this la feeling about how to get yourself sleeping again. You just sort of take one night at a time. And I'm telling you, that's the absolute wrong thing to do when you're trying to get yourself back to sleep. Here's my story. Earlier this year during the pandemic, it was bad. I was getting up at 3 a.m, up till 5 or 6 a.m., and then trying to squeeze in another hour to sleep. What kind of life is that? You can imagine that I'm tired and I don't even drink coffee. So I had to depend on my adrenal supports during the daytime to really pull me through. But I tell you, it was kind of miserable, but I was able to pull myself out of it. And here's proof that this program works. It's not just me, my own personal story. It's that I'm able to do this for other people. This is Soraya. Soraya came to me and had anxiety, brain fog, stomach pain, low energy. She couldn't sleep, AKA she was burnt out. She just had enough, and she had 2 little ones to take care of. Now, typical for me, I like to run and get a holistic point of view for people and why they're having all these symptoms. Because the thing about the body is it doesn't just take one area at a time and break down. They all sort of fall gradually. Some may fall more than others. So you can see here on the right-hand side in her adrenal cortisol curve, she is burnt out. She has no adrenal reserve, completely flatline. And even in the middle, we did her nutrient panel. You can see anytime you have spots in red, those are areas of deficiencies, and she's borderline for a lot. So she had a lot of mineral deficiencies. And even if we look at her melatonin level, which directly impacts the initiation of your sleeping wake cycle, she was borderline low. You can see that she's a black dot in the nighttime. We had to fix this. This is a problem area for her. She's feeling tired. She can't function. She has little ones and her husband to take care of. What's a girl to do? So this is what we did next. We had a game plan. We had some essential things to cover for her, right? I got a sense of where she was. I did an assessment for her. We did the analysis, the lab work that you saw, and we identified the priority for her. And that was getting her adrenal system back up and running. Now, she was relatively young in her mid-30s, so she had a little gumption to pull back out of this. But if you're in your mid-40s or 50s or 60s, it's harder for you to pull out from that flatline curve. And we did some realigning, right, of her core areas that she needed to focus on. And she did the work. She had a vision for herself and what she wanted, how she wanted her life to be. And of course, when you have a vision, it's super easy to walk towards that. So looking at these core areas of focus, we did the baseline assessment. Like I said, we looked at her nutrition. I can't tell you how many times people are eating the wrong foods for sleeping, especially if you have sleeping issues. I'll tell you this, you can't pull off keto and intermittent fasting together and expect yourself to stay sleeping in the middle of the night. And I'll share with you why. We had sleep hormones. We looked at her cortisol, and her melatonin levels. They were both terrible. Her sleep environment, the kids were sleeping with her, and that's kind of, that's her style of parenting, but it was really affecting her quality of sleep, right? Her sleep environment, and there was light coming through. There's a lot of light pollution in the room, and there's TV on. A lot of these things make a huge difference. It's a cumulative effect. So in terms of when you want to rebalance your sleep, you have to look at all of these areas. If you do only one at a time, you're really missing the point. Here is a full look at the sleep recovery roadmap. This is what I take my patients through when I'm trying to identify the reasons why they can't sleep. It's a comprehensive approach. Now, deep sleep killer number 2, you're in denial. I don't need help. This will go away. We've all had that conversation. These are superstars even who've admitted to being burnt out, right? Not getting enough sleep. And that just perpetuates a nasty cycle of feeling tired the next day. Then you're dependent on sweets and caffeine and all of these things to really bring your energy up. Then that affects your sleeping cycle. Then it affects your waking cycle. Like I said, it's really nasty habit. So a lot of times I'll use assessments, right? Not just lab work, but questionnaires, questions to get at what's the quality of your sleep? Are there things that are disrupting you, right? How's your energy? What kind of foods are you eating? These things are important to identify because the truth is, as you get older, you just don't sleep as well. Lots of things disrupt your sleep. Getting deep quality sleep that's quiet and you feel restful, this is a luxury. And even more so now because of the pandemic, we're under fire. We're under so much more stress. Here you can see your brain, your gut, your nervous system, it's all interconnected. So just assuming that one pill is going to fix it, well, that's not working. And that doesn't do it, at least not for long term. And that leads me to deep sleep killer number 3, depending on only pharmaceuticals to fix your sleep issues. I know this is something so quick and easy. You just go to Walgreens or CVS, you pick up your pharmacy, you put the pill in your mouth, bada bing, you expect to sleep. That's not what happens long term because cancer is a side effect of sleeping pills. Did you guys know that? Even at the lowest doses, it's still 3-fold hazard of mortality, even when prescribed less than 18 pills per year. Not to mention you have GI issues, dizziness, lightheadedness, prolonged drowsiness. Marijuana does the same thing for people, by the way. Marijuana is a drug. It's a Schedule 1 drug. Daytime memory and performance issues, on and on and on. Here is the kicker. You guys have to know this. See this area circled in the middle? Hypnotic drugs cause 300,000 to 500,000 deaths per year. Did you know that that's more than what the pandemic has taken from us? And this happens yearly, and yet we still prescribe hypnotic drugs, Ambien, benzodiazepines. We still prescribe them. That's a shame. And there's tons of side effects. There's no demonstrated significant next day performance or accomplishment. Really, I think that this is a marketing ploy by the pharmaceutical agencies to just sell more drugs. It's not helping with getting better quality sleep, and it's definitely not helping you to live longer. So why do we keep taking and relying on sleeping drugs as if they're doing the job for us? Most treatments for insomnia should be short-term, but it ends up being long-term. And for me, what I'm looking for is long-term benefits for you. That's comprehensive. That's going to lift you as a whole person. And one of the reasons why people stay on pharmaceuticals for sleeping is because of deep sleep killer number 4. They feel stuck. You don't know what else to do. You don't know that you have to address all of these core areas to improve your sleep. And like I said before, these are the 6 core areas of focus. Now, breaking through Soraya's case again, she had diet that was out of place because here, her nutrient panel right in the middle, tons of deficiencies. That means that she's not absorbing her nutrients. So that means you got to work on the gut. And both melatonin and cortisol, right? The sleep initiation and wake cycle, this is it as a core. So to walk in the shoes of not doing assessments and diagnostics about your sleep wake cycle, you're leaving a lot on the table. You have to look at melatonin. You have to look at your waking hormones. You have to see if they're in balance. And right now, hers is not out of balance. And I told you before about her sleeping environment, right? Basic things like sleep hygiene, getting off your phones, turning the clock around or taking the clock out altogether. Even your Wi-Fi router should not be in your bedroom. It is a disruptor for your sleep cycle. But we did the work, and Soraya had amazing testimonial to send me. I totally loved helping her and her family because they got their mom back. She was alive again. She wasn't a walking zombie in the middle of the day. So here's a specific protocol to get you started. What you need to do to change your sleep game. Number one, you have to assess the quality of your sleep. Do a sleep diary. And this is something that I'll teach you in the Get Deep Sleep Bootcamp, especially during the kickoff. We're going to look at what is your pattern of sleep. And we need to look at the obstacles of your sleep. Do you even have a clear vision that you can be the kind of person who sleeps at night? And trust me, you want to look at your current sleep support. What you have on board now to help you sleep. Is it Benadryl? Is it melatonin? Is it marijuana? Is it organic CBD oil from Colorado mountains or Humboldt, right? You also have to look at your daytime habits. This is number one. Whatever you do in the daytime affects what you do at nighttime. And whatever you do at nighttime affects your energy during the day. This is a sleep-wake cycle basics. If you're not addressing this, you're completely missing the point of getting good quality sleep. And this is the one by far for everyone now, especially for my high-performing folks. You're carrying the energy from the day and expecting to just disappear in the nighttime. That is completely not true. You have to move this energy elsewhere. It is a law of nature. Energy is recycled. And if you don't move it out from your brain, it will wake you up in the middle of the night, especially if those other core areas are not keeping you down in your sleeping cycle, right? You see here, there's a lot that takes into account for getting you to sleep. It's your diets, how old you are, it's your genetics, whether you can even produce enough serotonin. And this is the main reason why a lot of people's sleep beds don't work, or they have continued depression or anxiety, and that folds into your sleep. You just can't produce enough serotonin. This is genetic. Do you even know if this is an issue for you? Most people don't until they walk through my door and I do an assessment for them around their genetics. Bada bing. Then we find out they can't produce melatonin and they can't produce serotonin. This is a game changer. You have to do a full assessment. So what's the next step? You could keep searching for sleep meds, sleep remedies on your own, but I'm literally putting everything out for you on the table. I'm literally doing it for you, right? You need to get supported and focus quickly so that you can get through this pandemic. Sleeping well, I'm telling you that is absolutely possible. I did it myself. I've done it for other patients this entire time. So in walks the Deep Sleep Bootcamp. This is a comprehensive program that I've developed for you for this time. It takes into account everything that you need to know on how to get yourself to sleep. And this is not just for today or this week or this month. It's forever. I'm teaching you how to fish so that you can eat for a lifetime. My goal here for you in the Deep Sleep Bootcamp is to nourish your body, to get clarity on why you're not sleeping, and to get rid of insomnia in your life for good. Now, here are some details about the Deep Sleep Bootcamp. It's a hybrid of online instruction where you'll have access to me teaching live courses about how to move through the sleep recovery roadmap. But we're also going to go through the 6 modules. So you'll have recordings that you can listen to. You'll have the deep intensives that we're really going to drive in and focus in on the reasons why you can't sleep. And it doesn't matter if you can't fall asleep, if you have issues staying asleep, if you're waking up too early in the morning, if you have pain, if you have a CPAP, if you have kids, if you have a dog, all of this is fair game. You will learn how to master your sleep cycle. And the reason why I'm doing group instead of individual is because you need other people to be around you. You need people to know that you're not crazy. You're not crazy to begin with, but when you have other people that you're in it with, it really does empower you. It keeps you accountable. I can only do so much, but when you know that there's a crowd around you, that really raises your game and it raises your accountability. And not to mention, I'm going to bring it for you. I'm going to use all of what I know about sleep recovery. I'm going to use methods that I've gathered from the Stanford sleep centers to get at the core of your sleep trouble. Again, going through the 6 modules, we talked about this. Nutrition matters. Your sleep hormones matter. If you're on medication, you need to transition off of it. So I'm going to teach you what herbs and supplementation you can use to raise your sleep hormones, to balance them and to transition. This is far beyond just taking melatonin. We're going to talk about how to raise your sleep environment to a level that is impeccable so that when you look around your room, it's a feeling of joy. If you don't look around your room, your bedroom, and it does not incite joy and rest, something is wrong. You have to address that. And of course, we're going to get at creating a peaceful mind. So I'll give you some tips on how to create that. And this is beyond meditation. This is beyond yoga. This is even beyond Shavasana, right? And finally, getting you all the tools that you need to break your insomnia cycle. So even if we continue to go through a pandemic for another year, you'll have the tools to be able to get you back down to sleep if you get stuck into watching the news cycle more. And who's the bootcamp for? Well, everybody, right? Because everybody needs to improve the quality of their sleep. But specifically, if you've been having trouble getting to sleep or staying to sleep, especially if you have anxiety around sleeping or fatigue during the day, or you find yourself napping by accident, right? You sleep on the couch, next thing you know, you wake up an hour later, or that happens. If you have adrenal fatigue, if you can't remember things anymore, oh, let me tell you, this is your sleep-wake cycle that needs support, right? And especially for my menopausal women, late 30s to early 50s, the amount of hormonal change that happens, and this is even for men too, the hormonal change that happens at this period of time is completely disruptive to your sleep-wake cycle. And a lot of doctors don't talk about this aspect around perimenopause or periandropause even. That's the male pre-menopause. It completely will disrupt your sleep cycle. We're going to talk about how to break through that and balance that. And here's what you won't get anywhere else except in the Deep Sleep Bootcamp, right? I'm going to teach you again how to use this sleep recovery roadmap that's going to take you through forever, for life. Anytime you are off balance with your sleep, boom, you have a roadmap to get you focused and clear. You have an understanding of the crucial hormones that are going to affect your sleep patterns and how to correct them. You're going to know the key steps to take to reverse and to build your body's sleep cycle. And this is down to the cellular level. Because when you understand why you can't sleep, it becomes way easier to fix it. Way easier. You're also going to learn the top nutrients and herbs that's crucial for you to have on board. And I'm not talking just about melatonin, because that gets a lot of hype. Trust me, melatonin is great. It's an antioxidant. It's used in a lot of cancer protocols at very high doses. But I'm telling you, people who are on 20, 30, 40, 50 milligrams of melatonin, they're not necessarily having better quality sleep. So that tells you right there that something else is at play. Yes, melatonin helps, but it's not the end all be all. And here I want you to create a stress-proof plan. Again, this is all about planning. I'm all about planning. You have to do the things when you identify what causes your sleep pattern to be off balance. You will have a plan to get yourself back on track. And this is where most sleep coaching programs fail. So never again will you have to worry why you can't sleep. You won't have to dread about it's bedtime. Oh shit. Excuse me for saying, I'm going to go through that again. I wonder if I'm going to sleep tonight. No, that doesn't happen anymore when you join the Deep Sleep Bootcamp. There's no need to overanalyze or worry or wonder what to do because everything is going to be spelled out for you. And that's a really joyous place to be. So here's specifics about the Deep Sleep Bootcamp. Everybody wants to know, how much is this thing going to be, Dr. V? Well, let me give you some perspective. So the amount of hours that I'm going to put together for you in this intensive Deep Sleep Bootcamp is about 6 hours. So right off the bat, that's $2,000. I know that you guys love me, but there's no need to spend $2,000 when you're going to get incredible value in this program. I'm going to bring the same amount of fire that I do individually to this group program. And of course, if there's anxiety or depression, you need a psychiatrist on board or you need a therapist on board, that costs too. And most times they're not covered by insurance. And the copay for your doc visit so that you can go and get the cancer sleeping pill, sorry to say, is about $40 to $50, maybe more. And they're really seeing you for 15 minutes. They're not really listening to those other core factor areas, right? You just tell them that you can't sleep. And then, next thing you know, you have a prescription waiting for you at Walgreens or CVS. But the real cost of sleepless nights is this: the anxiety, the frustration, the thought that you are not the same person because you can't perform as well or your memory is not as good. And even the precious moments that you miss because you're exhausted, that costs more than any dollar amount. And not to mention this, right? Remember this from earlier? What's different about this approach is that we're looking at these core areas. We're looking at the missing links that are not covered in sleep coaching. We're eliminating the habits that sabotage sleep quality. And I'm going to help you change it for good. You're going to know the foods that you can avoid that completely wreck your sleep cycle. And like I said before, keto and intermittent fasting, that's not it for you. I'm going to teach you what diet you need for improving your sleep. And also, we're going to get you, like I said, a sleep program so that you can get back on track anytime life gets too stressful. This is the most comprehensive program that I've put together for you. And the cost of the Deep Sleep Bootcamp is $3,370. But you're not going to pay that because I'm really on your side. I want you to get a deep, restful night sleep for the rest of your life. I want to teach you how to do that. So I don't want you getting anxiety over money. And especially now, it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So of course I'm going to discount this for you guys. So you're not going to pay $33.70. You're going to pay $675 for this course. That's an 80% discount, 80% off. I never discount my visits. I never discount my programs, but this is worth it because I want you guys sleeping well and I want you performing at your best. And there's a money back guarantee. You can start the course, and if you don't like it, if you don't think it's a good fit for you, I'll give you your money back. So there's literally no risk for you to try the program. And it's almost the end of year. You have your HSA that you could use. Perfect. What a way to use your HSA money to purchase a program that's going to make a huge difference for you long term. Now, there's a fast action bonus. If you take advantage of this offer right now and book by December 1st at 11:59 p.m., you'll get these two bonuses. The total value of this is about $800. So you're going to get a lab upgrade. Instead of just a basic sleep panel, we'll get comprehensive, and I'll even throw in your melatonins for free. This is on me, right? You get it upgraded. So this ordering the sleep hormone panel is in addition to the deep sleep bootcamp that is not included in the price. But if you act before December 1st, I'll upgrade your test for free, right? And you're going to need some interpretation around this. So I'm going to go over with you your test results and what it means in the whole scheme of things. You could even bring your labs that you have done this year or last year, and I'll take a look at that too. And we look at you comprehensively. So this is also included in the fast action bonus, but you have to book the deep sleep bootcamp by December 1st at 11:59 p.m. Plus, I have a ton of extra benefits for you. Again, the bootcamp is going to cover mastery of the sleep recovery roadmap, the 6 modules, the tests that you're going to ask your doctor for. We're going to talk about genetics. We're going to talk about rebuilding your sleep cycle down from the cellular level. You're going to get access to the top nutrients to help you sleep and to transition off of sleep medication. And again, the priceless thing is getting a protocol to help you maintain long-term sleep. Here are your bonuses. You get access to the sleep panel, which is not available anywhere except by prescription, by a functional medicine practitioner. And oftentimes the cost is a barrier to even get the initial appointment, to get the test. Sometimes you already spend $1,500, $2,000, and then boom, you have this test that you have to take, right? I'm giving you access to that as part of being with the sleep bootcamp. I will order this for you. You can also, like I said, bill to insurance, and I will help you get coverage for the program. So insurance pays for this. I'm also going to give you wholesale pricing. What? Wholesale pricing. As long as you're in the bootcamp, you'll get wholesale pricing on herbs and supplements to help you make the transition. And I'm also going to give you a panel, a wellness panel checklist, so you can ask your doctor to run this panel to uncover vitamin, mineral, and inflammatory markers that might be affecting your sleep. And of course, you have the fast action mover and shaker bonus, right? Where you get the lab upgrade plus melatonin and the one-on-one strategy session to do that interpretation. Bada bing. And that's all for $675. Now, when does this start? December 7th. That's in a few short days. And then the deep dive masterclass happens December 14th and the 21st. I'm saying that it's 21 days because I'm giving you enough time to get into action in your life, to look at what's out of balance and to do the corrections. This means also you got to roll your sleeves up and do the work, because this is an intensive. This is a master class. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. And then I want you to get into your life and do it. So this is coming up relatively soon. I want you to take advantage of it. And here's how to reserve your space today. You can go to this link, drverasingleton.com/sleeping, and you can click on the link in the top part of this video. This will also take you directly through to the booking link. I highly recommend that you take advantage of this. There are a limited number of spots available. Please don't let this program slip by. I probably won't offer it again. This is my blood, sweat, and tears. I've been thinking about creating this program pretty much since I recovered from my sleeping issues myself. And I knew that other people are suffering with the same thing. So here is your opportunity for an incredibly discounted price to get a fantastic program to really change the game with your sleep. So here's how to register. Click on the link below or go to drverasingler.com/sleeping and reserve your spot right now. And don't forget, one more thing, you have a fast action bonus that I don't want you to miss out on. There's nothing like having a little bit more individualized support. So be sure that you get yourself registered before close of the day on December 1st. Not at 12:01 because that's December 2nd, 11:59. All right. Thanks. It was so wonderful. I enjoyed bringing this webinar to you. I enjoy creating this content for you. I want you to have a wonderful rest of the day and bring the fire. Take action. Don't drag your feet on this. If you're having issues sleeping, click the button and make it happen for yourself. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.